ni Kenya. Airport ya Kenya. Anakuja Kenya ndio tujui.
Ameuza airport. Ameuza nani?
Ameuza Buhindi. Yaani
Buhindi gani?
Sijui kwa Buhindi. Lakini huyu Ruto alibaana nyumbani. Aende kalale. Unauza airport. Unauza airport. Nani? Unauza airport. Kwa nini anakuja kuuza airport hapa? Yeye nani?
So sasa tunaelekea airport.
Tunaelekea airport pale.
Sawa.
Sasa tunaelekea airport. Anakuja airport hapa.
Welcome back to Havana Media. My name is Boniface Owino, and as usual, I'm going to be your host for today. Now, before I continue, I would like you to watch this video. This video of the Jkia, this issue of Adani and all that, and the way William Ruto was saying that he's not a madman to sell Adani, to sell the airport to Adani because the airport is a public property. And then we come back so that we can continue with this.
I have seen many people saying William Ruto wants to sell the airport.
Your Excellency, how can we sell our airports?
How do you sell a strategic national asset?
How can we take 14 airstrips and give them to an Indian company? Nobody knows the agreement and what has been signed.
You have to be insane.
What is it?
Am I a madman?
We have 5,000 employees with the Kenya Airports Authority and nobody knows where these people are going to go.
What we want to do in the airport is to work under the PPP program.
What is this Adani bringing to Kenya?
Public-private partnership has the potential to bring in private sector money, blend it with public sector investment to be able to create an outcome that brings win-win.
Why is this that this government is keeping a secret?
We must have the right investment for the airport. The airport is a strategic government asset, national asset.
As a union, we requested for some documents. We were given a few documents, and our CS Labour promised last week to give us some documents, but we are not given.
I want to persuade us as Kenyans. Let us not buy into fake news. Let us not buy into propaganda.
After independence, it's over 60 years. Why should they sell our heritage at this moment?
There is no government that can sell a national asset, a strategic national asset like the airport.
Someone has a fishy motive to come and finish our country.
We are going to work in an open and transparent manner to make sure that we develop the airport using legal instruments that can be audited by Parliament and by other agencies to make sure that they bring value to the people of Kenya.
When you sell something to a foreigner, yet they are investors in our country, who can help in such modernization, it tells you there is something fishy.
We want to work with the private sector for them to do three things that are critical for our airport: to build a new terminal, to build a new runway, and to make sure that we refurbish what we have and remove the canvas.
Why are we being taken in circles? This is the time Kenyans have to wake up and we secure our heritage.
Now, this issue of Adani buying Jkia is bringing a lot of problems. And right now, as we speak, there is demonstration whereby the KAA have gone on strike. The workers of the airport have gone on strike, even in Bomas. So in short, there is no flight, there is no work taking place at the airport, there is no traveling. No one can travel because the workers are on strike.
Hata leo tuko na nyororo na mikate na maziwa na kitu iko. Leo tunashiba huku nje. Hizi jalala kutoka dipa. Kutoka asubuhi. Jalala. Ndio nimekuja mapema.
And surprisingly enough, there is something that Francis Atwoli talked about. Francis Atwoli said that at one point he tried reaching the former CS of transport, that is Murkomen. And Murkomen did not receive his call. The only thing that these guys do is that they are very arrogant. They receive calls from the businessmen. Yani, these guys, like now, they are only looking for where they can get money. And Atwoli is telling his workers that they are supported fully. They have to go on strike. They have to strike. The striking must continue, because that is the only language. I think that is the only language that the government understands.
In our national constitution. And when the employer is not responding to the workers' needs in a programmed manner or procedural manner, workers are always left with no alternative other than going on strike. I personally, as Secretary General of Court, I tried to call the then Minister, Honorable Murkomen, before when this thing started, with a view of trying to educate him or to advise him to meet the workers and explicitly explain this Adani issue to workers. Our ministers are arrogant. They don't take telephones. If they are taking telephones, they are taking telephones from businessmen or employers, and they disregard workers' calls. This is very dangerous. This is what has brought all about what is happening here now. But we are prepared. We are now leaving for a meeting, and we will be reporting back. But strikes in the airports or in any other enterprises are always there. Some few days ago, I was in one of the international countries, and all airlines workers were on strike, and the delays were as usual witnessed and so on. And we are urging our members to remain firm, to remain strong. They have our support. Yes. Until we report back on this particular issue. This was a very, very simple matter, where the assurance to workers in writing that our members will lose no jobs and their jobs will remain protected by both government and as it is required by law. And that assurance alone, we wouldn't have been to where we are. But a lot of arrogance. The Adani issue is as if it is exclusive to management alone and government, and we cannot allow that. We are part and parcel of employment arrangements and workers' arrangements in every sphere of our life. And I have explained to government that the mistake was from the ministry and those people who are handling this particular issue. We wouldn't have been where we are today if they would have convened earlier meeting with all concerned parties. They always say stakeholders. A worker is a stakeholder number one, and nobody holds a stake for a worker because our stake is owned by a worker. So they would have had a meeting with the workers' organization, which is well led, has proper leadership, structures, and agreed, explained to workers. Somebody would have made presentation to workers. It is in our interest to have a modern airport. It is in our interest to have a second or a third runway here. We have been saying, we have been proposing to government that this airport is a cake airport. Wilson Airport should move here and build a modern airport. More than 60 years of independence, we shouldn't be having this old cake airport in this Republic of Kenya.
The government understands the only language that the government understands is strike. Strike, 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 and nothing else. And what is funny is that not even the president has talked about it. Since this issue began, the only statement that he made concerning Adani was when he was talking about, he's saying that he's not a madman to sell the airport to Adani. Right now, the KAA are on strike. All the workers, in short, all the workers are on strike. And they were saying that they will be on strike until that day that Adani will say that we are tired, we have given up in the Kenya with the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport Authority, and we are going back to India. Now, lastly, I want to tell you reasons why Kenyans were supposed to reject Adani. This is the reasons. There's a statement that I've been sent to me here. The reasons why Kenyans are supposed to reject Adani. Let us read this. Why Kenyans should reject Adani. Adani, number one, Adani will operate all our airports for 30 years and acquire all revenue within this period of 30 years. They will get our land. They won't build any runway. They will only construct taxiways and refurbish the current terminals. They will be granted authority to modify Kenyan aviation laws and policies to secure exclusive control of Jkia. They will control our airports inside, runway, taxiways, and apron, and landslide terminals, parking, and real estates. They get a fixed 18% concession fee starting at $47 million and 6 billion Kenya shillings, and increasing by 10% every 5 years forever after the 30 years contract expires. Only the Adani Group will hire airport staffs within the 30 years period. They plan to downsize our current airport staffs and lift visa requirements for export labor from India. They get 10 years of tax-free operation. Kenya to commit not to build or renovate competitive airports for the 30 years Adani Group is in charge. We can afford to raise the lousy $1.84 billion, which is equivalent to 238 billion Kenya shillings without losing our airport to foreigners. That is how we can do it. We can afford to raise a total of 238 billion Kenya shillings. That is it sums up to $1.84 billion without losing our airport to foreigners. Now, this issue of Adani taking charge of the airport. If at all the government wanted Adani to be in Kenya, I think the government could have given them land to build their own airport, so that at least we can see the kind of work that they are doing. But right now, at this point, it is only us Kenya who can come out to defend ourselves and defend the airport. After all, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section. But after all, guys, that is all I have for today. Let me also know what you think in the comment section. But just a reminder, if you're meeting for the first time, please don't forget to click the subscribe button. You can also like, share, and drop a comment and tell me what you think and where you're watching us from. As I normally say, that feedback is normally the key thing in form of communication, and not fail to appreciate those who believe in us support. Because without a support, the channel cannot grow and it cannot be where it is as now. Until we meet again, I've been your host, Boniface Owino. Bye-bye.